Hello everyone, I'm Jeff Crouere. Thanks for watching the Jeff Crouere Show. In this episode, we're going to talk about threats to our economy and our energy sector and what's being done by these radical Democrats. Under Donald Trump, this country was energy independent for the first time in decades. So we were a net exporter of oil and gas. We have so much reserves here in this country. We're rich, yet we've had a president that is trying to make us poor. He's gone from America first to America last. Of course, he takes office, shuts down the Keystone Pipeline. Then he puts a moratorium on drilling in federal lands and waters. Then he shuts down tax incentives for drilling. He changes the fleet to electric. And then, of course, he shuts down ANWR, which had just been opened up for drilling under Donald Trump. As he shuts down our pipeline, he gives approval for Nord Stream 2 for the Russians, making no sense at all. So now what happens? Gas prices go up. Americans feel a lot of economic harm. And then he starts taking reserves from our Strategic Petroleum Reserve that we should be keeping for an utter emergency. And now they're at their lowest levels in 40 years. Then he's going hat in hand to OPEC, to Saudi Arabia, telling them we need more drilling. So he's trying to get more reserves from countries that are rogue nations, that have tyrannical regimes, that are not exactly our friends, when we could be drilling here and be energy self-sufficient. Then what are they doing? They're pushing these electric vehicles like crazy. And let's look at what's going on in countries all over the world that are doing that. Europe now, they're in this whole green energy nonsense, and they're worried about warming their homes this winter. Russians have shut them off as far as natural gas. Here in this country, we've got states that are led by super liberal Democrats, California, Gavin Newsom, and they're now passing regulations saying no more gasoline-powered vehicles in 2035. So in a mere 13 years, they want to have all electric. They want to go from 12% where they are today to 100% by 2035. What is that going to do to California? Well, it's going to make it a very unlivable state because right now they're having problems with their electric grid. Right now, they're telling their residents they can't charge their electric vehicles. We're worried about blackouts. How are they going to possibly be able to sustain 100% of their vehicles being electric? It doesn't make sense. Yet other states are following suit. And what happens when we go down the road of electric vehicles? Well, the components for these batteries are made in places like China and places like the Congo, where they have slave labor. We are now becoming more dependent on other countries when we could be completely self-sufficient here if we use oil and gas resources that we have. And by the way, forcing Americans to buy electric vehicles are forcing Americans to pay more for cars. The average cost of an electric vehicle is $66,000. The average cost of a gasoline-powered vehicle, $20,000 less. In an inflationary time when we have a recession, you're telling Americans that they're going to have to spend $20,000 more and then get into a car and hope that there'll be a charging station that they can find? What if there's an emergency? You don't want to be in an EV when you have to evacuate. We're going down a very dangerous road, and we're not putting our country first or our citizens. Hopefully we can change these policies and go back to being energy independent again and go back to some common sense as far as our energy sector in this country. I'm Jeff Crouere. Thanks for watching. Be sure to follow and subscribe to get more information. Go to crouere.net. You can learn everything about the shows and all our upcoming activities. Thank you so much for watching The Jeff Crouere Show.